Good morning. Welcome to our International Center webinar. My name is Katie Knabel, and I'm a program coordinator in the International Center, the Division of Intercultural Programs.
Hi, my name is Jacob Harris. I'm one of the International Student Advisors in the International Student Services Office.
Absolutely. And later we will be joined by Kshitija Kulkarni, and she is a international peer advocate, a current student here at UT Dallas who works for our office. Additionally, we'll be joined by Dr. Sham Kara, and he is a professor in the Engineering and Computer Science Department. So just to know about the webinar, if you have any issues connecting, you should exit the room and restart the Blackboard Collaborate session. Also, this session is being recorded. So approximately 1 week after the webinar, you'll be able to find it on our website and you can re-listen to it. And just a note about the agenda, Jacob and I will present for about 25 minutes, and then we'll have Kshitija and Dr. Kara join us. And then once we finish with that, we'll have a question and answer session for about 30 minutes.
All right, so I'm going to talk briefly about the International Student Services Office, or the ISSO as it's commonly referred to. So the ISSO provides immigration information and support to UT Dallas students through workshops, individual student advising, and outreach. We assist our prospective F1 students with the issuance of the Form I-20, which is needed to apply for your F1 student visa. We do provide current F1 students with support in maintaining F1 status and applying for their F1 benefits. And of course, we also continue to support our F1 alumni during work authorization periods granted after graduation, such as OPT. Some of the common ISSO services that we provide is curricular practical training, which is CPT. That's typically an internship that you have before you graduate. We also assist with the optional practical training option. The majority of our F1 students choose to apply for post-completion OPT, which allows them to work for up to 1 year after they graduate, although there are other types of OPT if you're interested. And then, of course, the STEM extension OPT, if you are in a science, technology, engineering, or mathematics major, you may be eligible for the STEM extension of your OPT, which allows for an additional 2 years of work authorization in the U.S. after graduation. We also provide H-1B gap relief. So if you do find a U.S. company that's willing to sponsor you for a H-1B work visa, and you are in a period of F1 status or OPT, you can contact our office to issue an updated I-20 showing that your F1 status and or work authorization has been extended up until the day before your H-1B visa will take effect. We also assist with travel and re-entry questions, and we provide travel endorsements for any current F1 students who need to travel abroad and then re-enter the U.S. We also can advise you on on-campus employment. All current UTD students who are eligible for on-campus employment, that is part-time, that is 20 hours a week or less while school is in session, and you can work full-time during school breaks, such as spring break. We also assist with maintaining your Form I-20, so making sure that's up to date, making sure the correct major is on there, and making sure you're not passing your I-20 end date, so we can assist with a program extension if that's required. And of course, we do also offer other services such as status verification letters, or as I mentioned, travel endorsements or individual advising, either by phone, walk-in, or by email. And of course, if you have any questions about our services, you can visit our website, which is utdallas.edu/ic/ISSO.
All right. So as you can see, the International Center here at UT Dallas offers a lot of immigration assistance. We also offer a lot of events and programming for international students and for domestic students as well. So my office is in charge of transitional programs for international students. For example, I help conduct international student orientation that all F1 and J1 students are required to attend. This is a really great way for you to get to know university services, all about your visa information, and many other things. We also have a program that we're starting this summer called iEngage. And so this is an excellent way for international students to meet American students and to meet each other. So it allows students to practice their English, have some games, learn a little bit about American culture as well. Additionally, we offer spouse and family events. So if you are coming to the United States with a spouse or a child or other dependent, we have a spouse and family program. So we do events throughout the semester, and this is also run by one of our community partners who works as a volunteer for our office. So she plans outings, she plans trips to different museums in Dallas that you can take with your children and your spouses. One of the fun things that we do is cultural programs. So a lot of our students love to attend our cultural events. For example, we have cultural trips. We just recently took a spring break trip camping. So if you're outdoorsy and you like to hike, you can go camping with us. We also go to places like the Dallas Zoo. We've been to bowling and played other games at different facilities around Dallas. We also have an iFriend program. So iFriend is a really fun program. International students and American students are grouped in groups of 4, and for 8 weeks you're expected to meet with each other and share your culture with each other and really have fun. So this is a great way for international students to meet American students and get more involved on campus. We also have celebratory programs. So this is a way for us to celebrate the American culture and the global diversity of the university. So next week we have International Week. This is a yearly celebration that we have every year during April. Some of our signature events are Passport to the World. This is our kickoff event for International Week. And so this allows students to represent their culture in a bazaar-like setting, and they can provide food, music, history, cultural dress, so the campus can learn all about the different countries that are represented at UT Dallas. Our last event of iWeek is the International Talent Show. This one is my favorite. So if you like to perform, you can sing, dance, act, recite poetry, and students can represent their culture and showcase it to a large audience. We typically have about 1,600 people attending the talent show. So if you enjoy performing and you like doing that, this is a really great way for you to get involved. If you are interested in our iWeek, you can visit our website and find iWeek. We're also going to be streaming our talent show on YouTube Live. So you visit our website, you can find the link. I'll also have it posted on the Facebook pages so you can see that. Another program that we do that's a celebration is Texas Party. So as many of you might know, Texas is a really unique culture in the United States. So we're in the southwest of the United States, and so the Texas Party celebrates everything about Texas. We serve local food from Texas. We have line dancing, which is a traditional dance here in the South, and we have other events that you can attend and other things that you can see. Another thing we do to help students transition to the university is we send out a weekly newsletter to all admitted students once they attend International Student Orientation. This weekly newsletter is called Events on Campus, and so this provides different activities that are happening on campus that you can attend. It also gives you important updates about things like health insurance and immigration information. This is a really great way for you to stay connected to the university and to our office. Well, I've already talked about everything that our office does, and so did Jacob, but I know a lot of you are probably wondering what makes UTD so special. So a few campus resources that are helpful for new students I wanted to talk about. One is the Career Center. I know a lot of you probably want to get jobs while you're studying here at the university, and most of you want a job once you're finished at the university. So the Career Center is really the place for you. They provide resume assistance, interview training, career workshops, and expos. This is a time where you can meet with different companies off campus and find out about internships and jobs they have available. They also assist with on-campus jobs and internships. So if you're looking for an on-campus job, once you're registered for classes, you can set up an account with the Career Center and try to find one. We also have the Student Health Center. The Student Health Center is a wonderful resource for students. It is free for all UT Dallas students, so take advantage of it if you're getting sick or if you're not feeling well. It's very nice to have a free health center. They also provide the student health insurance. Many of you might know that all F1 and J1 students are required to have student health insurance, and so this is managed through the Student Health Center. If you have questions about your student health insurance, you can always send them an email. Another fun resource that our students love is our Activity Center. We actually have 2 activity centers on our campus, so it's really great for you, those of you who like to work out. Again, it's free for all UT Dallas students. Once you're registered for classes, you can go to the Activity Center and you can use all of their facilities for free. They have things like a fitness center, a pool, a climbing wall, which is my favorite, and they also have group classes for a small fee. So if you're interested in doing things like yoga or Zumba or other types of weightlifting, you can attend one of their group classes and just pay a little bit of money. It's much cheaper than using a gym outside. Another thing that our international students really appreciate is that we have a campus attorney and an immigration attorney on campus. So these 2 staff members can assist you with general questions and information. So if you ever need to seek an attorney's assistance, you can use one of the attorneys on campus. All right. So I don't know if many of you know, but getting involved on campus is one of the best things you can do while you're at UT Dallas. A lot of companies actually look for involvement on campus as part of their application search. So here at UT Dallas, we have over 250 student organizations. There's something for every interest. It's really fun. So many of our student organizations are cultural organizations. So for example, we have the Indian Student Association, FACS, which is the Friendship Association of Chinese Students and Scholars, and we also have the Iranian Student Community, and many more. That's just a small sample of our cultural student organizations. But this gives you a good way to connect with people from your home culture, or you can learn about a new culture. You don't have to be from that country or culture to join one of the cultural organizations. We also have social organizations. So if you're just simply interested in having fun, maybe learning a new skill, or if you have a particular interest, you can join a social organization. So we have dance organizations, there's sports organizations, many more. And another type of organization we have are academic or professional. So, for example, AMA, the American Marketing Association, is available on campus. This gives you a really great way to network with other students, faculty members, staff members, and companies. And so it gives you a little bit of an edge when you're looking for jobs. You can find all of our student organizations on orgsync.com. As you can see, I have the link posted for you. So if you type that in and look for UT Dallas, you can look at all the organizations we have. If you're athletic, we have club sports and intramural sports. I know this is something that I enjoyed when I was in college. So club sports are sports that you can join where you compete against other universities. And intramural sports are sports where you compete with other students here at the university. So we have club students for soccer, for lacrosse, for chess, which is also a sport here at UT Dallas because we're so smart. And we also have things like cricket and badminton. So a lot of students really love those. If you're interested in volunteering, we have plenty of volunteer opportunities here on campus. A lot of our UT Dallas students love to volunteer. We have an Office of Student Volunteerism, and they offer events where you can go to animal shelters and you can play with cats and dogs and help service their cages. They also offer events such as the Alternative Spring Break, so you can spend your week of spring break doing service and see another part of the U.S. So there's really great opportunities. So another thing that makes UT Dallas special are all the traditions we have on campus. We have traditional programs that our students love to join in. It's a great way to get involved and really see what campus life is all about. So one of my favorite traditions is Welcome Week. This is something that celebrates new students every fall. So it's actually 2 weeks of activities. So they have things like carnivals, concerts, free food. They have something called Breakfast Bonanza, where you can visit different offices and get food, and so much more. So Welcome Week is a really great thing for you to join when you're coming in the fall, or even if you're coming in summer, you can join it in the fall and see all the samplings of UT Dallas. I put the website up for Welcome Week, so if you'd like to see all the events that happened this past Welcome Week, you're welcome to visit that site, and that will be updated for the next fall. Homecoming is another UT Dallas tradition. This is actually an American tradition. This is held annually every fall, and it celebrates UT Dallas athletics. So at other institutions, it celebrates their athletics as well. Homecoming is a week-long celebration as well, so there are parades, dance parties, concerts, as we at UTD love concerts, and so much more. And you can also attend the UT Dallas basketball and volleyball games to support the athletics, something that the students really love to do. As I mentioned before, we have International Week, or I-Week as we refer to it, and this celebrates the global diversity of UTD every April. So this is a great event, and we really love putting it on. So we have games, food, a talent show, as I mentioned, and there's so much more. So you can check out our website. You can see the upcoming I-Week events. And like I said, you can even watch our talent show on Friday evening to stream it live on YouTube Live. So a few things that make UT Dallas special. All the spirit programs that we have. I know that most of you do not know who TMOC is. You can see a picture of him in the orange suit on your screen. TMOC is our UT Dallas mascot. And just as a hint, the reason why we call him TMOC is it is Comet, spelled backwards. As many of you know, we are the UT Dallas Comets, and so TMOC got his name from reversing Comet. You'll see TMOC at different events throughout campus. You can take pictures with him. He'll be at basketball games and volleyball games, and so he's a very well-known figure on our campus, and it's a lot of fun to see him. Our colors, as you could probably see by our PowerPoint, are orange and green. So if you're wearing orange and green, you will definitely fit into the UT Dallas atmosphere. You'll see that decorated in all the buildings, at the sporting events. They give away orange and green t-shirts, and so we're very supportive of our colors. We'll be joined in a few minutes by Dr. Sham Kara, and so he's going to be coming to give you some information about how to succeed in engineering and computer science. However, right now, I'm going to turn on the chat feature, and so you'll be able to ask questions. So if you have any questions, you can type them in the box, and we will be able to answer them. Additionally, in a few minutes, we'll be joined by Shikija. As I mentioned before, she is our student staff member. She's going to tell you a few things about what she loves about UT Dallas, so you can hear directly from a student. So it's really nice that you'll be able to hear from a current student, and you can ask her questions as well about her experiences at UT Dallas. Looks like we have one person who's asking a question. You can type your questions, and we'll answer them verbally. Okay. So someone is asking, when is the best time to be on campus? So I think as Jacob knows and can tell you, international students can arrive 30 days prior to the start of classes.
That's correct. So if you'll check your I-20, you should see your program start date there listed. And as Katie was saying, you can arrive up to 30 days prior to that date. But we definitely recommend arriving in the U.S. by that date and no later, because if you attempt to enter late, the point of entry may turn you away. So it's definitely important to try to get here by that start date. and that's just more beneficial for you because you're going to have some holes on your record before you're able to register that you'll need to clear, which does take some time. So try to give yourself a week to 2 weeks to arrive in the U.S. to take care of those holes, attend international orientation before actually, beginning your classes.
Yes, Jacob makes a good point. All students have holds on their account that prevent them from registering for classes. And so international student orientation is one of those, and so we have those starting 30 days prior to classes. Our first one is actually on August 2nd, and so you can register for international student orientation. We recommend for you to attend some of the early ones because it gives you more time to remove your holds, find housing, get to know the United States and the UT Dallas campus.
Right.
All right, we have another question. So someone is asking about the visa financial amount, and they wanted to know about sending the I-20 amount to UT Dallas, and if that is the same amount that is going to be shown on the financial account during their visa interview, or if it's different.
Yes, so typically we ask you to show 1 academic year's worth of funding for us to issue your I-20, and that will be reflected on the financial information section of the I-20 when you receive it. So you should also be prepared to show that proof of funding to the visa officer when you go to apply for your F-1 visa for that 1 academic year of funding. Typically they are usually just looking for the funding to match what's on the I-20, but you should also just be prepared to show additional funding if they do want to see any proof of funding for maybe your full program.
Absolutely. We have another question about on-campus jobs. Someone wants to know if jobs are limited here on campus and what is the criteria to apply. So yes, I will be honest, there are a limited amount of on-campus jobs, and it's very competitive to receive an on-campus job. For criteria to apply for them, I mentioned that once you register for classes, you can sign up for an account at the Career Services website. That's called Comet Careers. Like I said, you won't be able to do that until you register for classes, so don't worry. However, on Comet Careers, all the on-campus jobs are posted, and so they'll show you the different skills that are needed for that job, and you'll be able to apply through Comet Careers, submit your resume and your cover letter. If you need assistance in creating those items, the Career Center can also help you with that. We have another person asking about housing fee. What is the average rate of housing per month? Which one is cheaper, living in the dormitory or the village apartments or off campus? So we're actually going to have a webinar in about 1 month about housing. This is a great way for you to learn a little bit more about applying for housing, how to search for housing. You can find the cost for all the housing on the university's housing website. So if you just search housing in the search bar on the UT Dallas website, that will pull up the university's housing webpage. So many students like to live on campus. You can apply for on-campus housing. My understanding is there is a little bit of a wait list. So if you want to find housing sooner, you can look off-campus. And off-campus apartments, we have a bus line that runs through a lot of apartment complexes. And price-wise, they all vary in price. You can find that information online at the apartment complex's website, or you can also contact the landlords directly. They will have their phone numbers posted, and so you can search for it in many different ways. Like I mentioned, in about 1 month, we're going to host a webinar just about housing, and so I'll have some current students with me who can give you some tips about how to find off-campus housing, what to look for, and how to read leases, things like that, because it might be different than what it's like in your home country. All right, we have more questions, so let me scroll through them. Someone is asking about international student orientation. They said they registered and did not receive any confirmation. That is correct. So you will not receive a confirmation once you register for international student orientation. You will receive confirmation 2 weeks prior to the orientation date. So we send a confirmation email with all the information you need for the international student orientation. It will tell you where to go, how to get to campus, what things you need to bring with you. Additionally, we'll send another updated email 2 days prior to every orientation. So all of you who have registered Don't worry if you did not receive a confirmation. Someone is asking about scholarship decisions for Eric Johnson, so JSOM, no, Eric Johnson. But regardless, scholarship information, you can contact the academic department directly. If that's coming from an academic department, my recommendation is to contact your academic advisor, which you can find on your academic department's website, and they'll be able to tell you more information about a scholarship. All right. So one person wants to know about using express mail for their I-20. And so they've sent their request and created an account, and they have some questions about that. Maybe Jacob can respond to that because he'll be the expert.
Okay, yeah, so with Express Mail, you do have that option to have your I-20 sent via Express Mail from the shipping service that you choose. We use a company called eShip Global. You can find more information about the Express Mail option on our website under the Mailing Options webpage, or you can just search Express Mail from the International Center homepage. But yes, we typically will issue a I-20 and send that I-20 by regular mail to the student to whatever address they provided on their application, and we do that automatically. So you may receive confirmation email that your I-20 has been mailed, and that is letting you know that it's been sent by regular mail, which can take some time to reach you outside of the U.S., sometimes 6 to 8 weeks. So you do have that express mail option, and if you choose that option, you would just want to go follow the instructions on the mailing instructions webpage, set up your order as this student did, and once that order is set up, we will process that order the following business day, and you will be able to track that order using the tracking number provided by the shipping service that you used. So even though we may have sent the original I-20 by regular mail, we would reprint that I-20 and send another copy by express mail if you choose to pay for express mail. Either I-20 can be used to apply for your F-1 visa.
Thank you, Jacob. We have a student who's asking about the security on campus. That's a really great question. We'll tell you a little bit more about this during International Student Orientation. However, we do have a UT Dallas Police Department. So the UT Dallas Police Department is in charge of all of the security here on campus. They are an actual police department. So if you need assistance, you can contact the UT Dallas Police and they'll be able to help you. They do patrol the campus, and they make sure that all buildings are safe and secure. They also have security guards that work for them as well, who also roam campus to ensure that everything is secure here on campus.
Yes, they also provide workshops to help you to stay safe while you're in the U.S.
Absolutely. Another student wants to know about the student organizations and how many are you able to be a part of without it affecting your academics. That's really a great question, because while it's wonderful to get involved on campus, your first priority here is as a student. And so we always recommend to students to just make sure that they feel comfortable with the amount of work they can do and the organization. So maybe try joining one organization and see how much time commitment it is. And then if you feel comfortable, you can join another one if you're interested. Like I said, it's very personal and up to you depending on how comfortable you feel managing your academic workload and your social workload. Another student is asking, what is the minimum number of credits required to be able to start CPT?
Yes, so to be eligible for both CPT and OPT, you have to complete 2 long semesters at UT Dallas before becoming eligible. So that means you're enrolled full-time, which is 9 hours for graduate students, or 12 hours for undergraduates for 2 long semesters, which is fall and spring, or spring and fall. And at the end of that second semester, you would be eligible to apply for the CPT or the OPT. CPT would go through the Career Center on campus, or if you're an engineering major, you would go through the Industrial Practice Programs office, and they would approve you for the internship, and then they would send that approval to the ISSO, and if you are eligible, we will issue you an updated CPT I-20 showing that you have work authorization for that semester.
Thank you. So someone's asking if it's beneficial to come early to the U.S. for on-campus jobs, like in late July. For on-campus jobs, as I mentioned before, you won't be able to apply for on-campus jobs until you register for classes. However, many students find it beneficial to come to campus as early as they can, so at the very earliest of 30 days, in order to be able to remove their holds, get to know the campus, and get registered for classes.
Yes, so if you arrive to the campus early and you're able to remove all those holds and register for classes, then you can actually start working on campus before the semester begins.
So another person is asking if people who are still in the final year of undergrad will be able to submit complete transcripts a bit later than August, after the results are printed, if that's okay. So the admissions department is in charge of receiving your transcripts. And so the best thing to do is to email them and see what is the deadline for submitting your final transcripts. We'll also have the admissions department at International Student Orientation, so if you still need to complete that hold, which means submitting your final documents, your admissions application, or sorry, not your admissions application, but your transcripts or any test results, they'll be able to collect those at International Student Orientation. So we're going to pause our Q&A session for right now because we have our two special guests, Kshitija and Dr. Shyam Khara. So I'm going to invite Kshitija to come and talk for a few minutes about her experience here at UT Dallas. She can talk about a few things such as what it was like to come to UT Dallas and what her favorite things that she's attended and done here at UT Dallas.
Hello everyone, my name is Kshitija and I work as an international peer advocate here at UT Dallas. So one of my best experiences were the Lone Star Fiesta. One thing very good about UT Dallas is that it has very fabulous events. The community is very welcoming. You get instantly friendly with friends. You get friends. We have a diverse culture. UTD has a very good mix of students, so you get to know people from other countries as well. It's a fabulous university with great library, great professors, and yeah, you get everything here. It's home away from home. So welcome. Yeah, feel free to come here, and if you have any questions, please ask.
Yes, we'll open up the chat in a few minutes, and then you can ask Kshitija some questions. She'll have some really great insight about what it's like for a student here at UT Dallas. But I'm also going to invite up Dr. Khara, so he can introduce himself and talk to you a little bit about how to succeed in engineering and computer science. We have a very diverse group here today.
Good morning, good evening, guys. My name is Shyam Khara. I'm a Director of Graduate Studies in the Computer Science Department, and I've been with UTD for 17 years. So I have seen thousands and thousands of students. And I visit India almost every year and talk to the students newly admitted. And I know all those questions, what you're asking everybody here, and I would have answered almost all those and probably more than that. So feel free to ask me any questions, and I would like to congratulate you. UTD basically admits only best and the brightest. So you are the best and the brightest. So we welcome you to UTD. It's a wonderful place, very safe and very welcoming in engineering, computer science, all over campus. So you will find it's very homely, like Kshitija said, a home away from home.
Thank you, Dr. Khara. Okay, I'm going to open up the chat function again, but we'll answer some other questions. So we have another student who's asking about housing applications and when do they open at University Village. So it looks like you've done your research. University Village is one of our on-campus housing options. To be honest, I don't know the open date for applications, but you can contact the housing department. I mentioned before that there's a search function on the UT Dallas homepage. You can search housing and you'll be connected to their website. If it doesn't tell you when the application date is open, you can send them an email by going to their contact page. That would be my recommendation. because here in the United States, at most of our universities, different departments are responsible for different things. So they'll be the experts in housing and what you need to do in order to apply for housing. Also, I mentioned before, in about 1 month, we're going to host a webinar that's only about housing. And so you'll be able to get more information about searching for housing and what you need to do in order to facilitate that. We have a student who's asking if UT Dallas has a co-op.
Oh, wonderful. That's a great question. We have one of the best co-op programs in the nation and the top co-op program in Texas. So the Engineering and Computer Science department, the school itself, has an IPP department. It's called Industrial Practice Program, and they have about 4 or 5 staff members working in that particular department, and their job is just to help the students. So when you come here on campus, they will help you with enrolling into or giving you a kind of an introduction of how to be successful in getting jobs on campus, getting jobs, how to interview with companies, and how to land up with internships. So you can have both these opportunities. You can have an internship as well as OPT. So for internship, to be eligible for internship, you must have completed 2 long semesters on campus, and then you are eligible for internship. Sometime in September, those who come in fall. So we have an internship fair wherein about 40 to 50 companies from nearby in Texas and all over U.S., they come on campus and recruit students. You will be surprised that we are on the map of Google. So Google comes on campus twice a year to recruit students. So you must be wondering why. So Google selects only the best and the brightest. So they know that our students are well trained and they have good skills to be successful in companies.
Thank you. And he's correct. Actually, one of my former student staff members currently works at Google in California, and he is having a wonderful experience working there. We have another student who's asking, what are the nearby areas to visit around the university? This is a great question. I think I'm going to pass that to Shikija, and she'll be able to give you a student's perspective on what are the coolest places to visit.
My favorite part is DART. So in Dallas, there is Dallas Area Rapid Transit, which is free for students, and we have a Comet card in which there is DART pass. You can visit anywhere and everywhere in Dallas with that. There are rails, there are buses, and you can go visit the downtown, you can go visit the bowling, you can go visit theaters. There is Studio Movie Grill, which is amazing. And at UT Dallas, we have a Comet Center, which gives you tickets in very cheap rates. So that you can buy tickets from there and you can go to a movie theater. It's very fun. Dallas is a fun city with all the pubs and clubs and dining areas. It's good. So yeah, you'll have a lot of fun here. It's a city.
And if you love Mavericks, you can go for the Maverick games at American Airlines Center.
There's also hockey and baseball.
Football, Cowboys, you can miss that.
American football. Yes, the Dallas Cowboys are a huge favorite all around Dallas. Everybody's a Dallas Cowboys fan. So also, we will be hosting an Experience Texas webinar in about 2 months. And so I'll have that posted on our website that tells you all about our webinars. And so I'm going to invite some current students to talk about everything that's cool about Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth, all the cities that are really fun to visit. So you'll be able to get a good view of Dallas and Texas.
Let me also tell you something about what you should do before coming on campus. Now, very important, when you come on campus, you're anxious how to get into classes. So the first thing you need to do is make sure all your documents are submitted in the Office of Admissions and Enrollment Management. Your official transcripts, your official degree certificate or provisional degree certificate, and any other documents, your official TOEFL and official GRE scores. They must all be submitted in the records office before you will be taken off the holds from the Office of Admissions and Enrollment Management. And then try to come at least 3 weeks before the classes begin. Lots of students come exactly about few days before the enrollment or the orientation. The reason I'm asking you to plan well ahead is that you need to also complete those requirements of getting your meningitis short rackets completed and the TB test done. So if you have not done all these things, you've not taken care of all these holes, you'll not be allowed to enroll in classes, even though you may attend the orientation. So I've seen so many, at least 1/3 of newly admitted students are not able to enroll on the orientation day, the department's orientation day. The mainly reason being they still have the TB test holes. So plan to be here on campus at least 3 weeks before the orientation, the department orientation. And also get your appointments for the TB test, because that's very difficult to get on time.
Yes. And Dr. Carr brings up a really great point. If you are a summer 2017 student, which means you're starting classes in the summer, you can contact the Student Health Center to make your TB test appointment. If you are a fall student, so if you're coming in fall 2017 as your first semester, you will register for your TB test appointment when you register for International Student Orientation. And so the reason why we do this is because we want to help you take that TB test and get that hold removed at the same time that you're coming out to campus and attending orientation. All right. So a student's asking about scholarships awarded to international students joining in fall 2017.
So all those who are in engineering and computer science, there is an Eric Johnson scholarship for each program. If you are in each department, if you are in electrical engineering, you are in mechanical engineering, you are in computer science, there are limited number of $1,000 scholarship. This $1,000 scholarship, at this point they are taking the applications, and I know for the computer science department, because I'm processing them, the first round of selected students will be emailed sometime in before April 15th. They'll be receiving their, all those who are selected will get their notification that they have been selected for the scholarship. And this scholarship basically is for 1 year, non-renewable. So the first semester, they get $500 in fall. And the second semester, they get another $500. So it's generally, I can say that generally it is said that you are also entitled for in-state tuition when you get this scholarship. So you should be hearing soon. The first round of selected students should be hearing soon. But those, well, the others, probably they will not get a separate email because we have so many students who apply. So only the selected students will be contacted. So those who, keep your fingers crossed, those who are selected, you will hear soon.
That's exciting. So there's someone else asking if there's a deadline to register for International Student Orientation. As of right now, there is no deadline. However, we will close our orientation registrations if they get too full, because we can only accommodate a certain amount of students. But don't worry, we have enough spaces for every new student to join orientation. So when you go to the International Center's orientation website, you'll see which sessions are available and still open, and it will give you links to register for those International Student Orientation sessions.
I will add to this one. Try to get yourself enrolled in the orientation at least 2 to 3 weeks before, because they get filled very fast. Once they are filled, you cannot get all these holes removed till you attend the ISSO orientation. And until all the holes are removed, you can't enroll in classes. So if you enroll in classes on time, try to enroll, try to get into the earliest ISSO orientation dates.
Thank you. He's absolutely correct. We've mentioned that a few times. Another one student is asking how they can subscribe to receive the ISSO newsletter. And so all students will be enroll in our listserv to receive our newsletters once they attend International Student Orientation. So this is a really good question. I mentioned the Events on Campus newsletter prior to this Q&A session. And so that one gives you all about events that are going on campus, events that our office is hosting, and some important updates that students need to know about university closings, health insurance deadlines, things like that. That is received every single Monday. And then Jacob's office, the International Student Services Department, they send a monthly newsletter. And so this gives you immigration updates. And again, all students will be enrolled in our listserv to receive these newsletters once they attend International Student Orientation.
Now, the second part I want to add here for how to get your courses what you're looking for. So when the students come here on campus, we'll have a department orientation. So at the end of the department orientation, advisors are available and you will be advised in the classes what is best for you. Please do not listen to your friends. The friends will not be able to give you best of the advisors. Talk to an advisor and see what are the right set of courses that fits your degree plan, and then try to enroll in those courses. And mark my words, advisors will give you the best advice.
We have another student who's asking if when international students arrive to the U.S., is there an organization that helps with basic necessities such as housing, arriving to campus, mobile SIMs, things like that? This is a really great question. So many of our cultural student organizations will assist students. So for example, the Indian Student Association does a lot with airport pickups, helping students get acclimated to their housing and life around the United States. We also have an event that we collaborate on with community partners called the Big Howdy. So the Big Howdy is one of the big events that happens throughout the fall semester. And so these community members help with airport pickups, so help you get to campus. They also have a big welcome party for you to get to know other students. And so there's a lot of fun things. As for some basic necessities, like I mentioned, you can speak with your cultural student organization. They might have already reached out to you, or you can connect with them online. However, we also host a vendor fair, and this happens in August. And so this is when we invite providers of necessities for students to come and speak with them. So you can get to know people who do grocery services, mobile phone services, apartment searches. So this will be very helpful to students when they're just entering campus. So you will see the dates of our vendor fair posted on our website once we have it solidified, and you'll be able to find out who's going to be attending as well. We have another student who's asking what campus facilities, such as the library or labs, are accessible even during the semester breaks. And so semester breaks differ for all departments. So some of the departments will have shortened hours during weeks like spring break and fall break. However, most of the offices still remain open, such as the library and access to the labs.
So the labs during the holiday times, specifically during the winter break and the spring break, that's when the CS Tech people, they go ahead and try to get the labs set up again for the rest of the semesters. So, however, all those the facilities that what you need, you can connect them anywhere. So there's a Wi-Fi throughout the campus, so you should be able to connect to those facilities directly from here. You don't have to go to the lab. You can still connect to those, whatever you're looking for, your files or technologies or the software, what you need, you can still connect to them. However, sometimes some of those labs, maybe that's when they'll be working in those labs to get them ready for the rest of the semester.
And Dr. Kra brings up a good point. During winter break, the university campus departments will not be open. However, the university is still open in terms of the UT Dallas police are still working, and so if you do have an issue, you can always contact the police department, even during breaks. We have another question about academic advisors, and someone has not gotten an academic advisor and wants to know when. You may have received an email from your department about your academic advisor, but you can also find that information on your academic department's website. And so it will tell you who the advisors are.
I can answer this because I'm also an advisor in the department. So for the graduate students, we don't generally have a assigned set of advisors for students. So however, each department has a set of advisors. So you can go onto the website and see who are the advisors, and you can email them directly, and they will respond to your questions. And you will see them again. You will see all the advisors at the department orientation. The CS department orientation is on August 16th. So probably around that time, you will be visiting. Each department have their orientation, and the advisors will be available at that point.
Yes. And so he also brings up a good point. You are required to attend international student orientation. However, we also have different academic department orientations. You may have received information about that from your academic department. If you are wondering if you do have an academic department orientation, you can contact them through their website. We also have a student asking about different companies where they can apply for internships or CPT or OPT. So is there a particular list of companies that do offer OPT and CPT?
So that's a great question. So when you come on campus the first semester, we have this IPP department I told you as earlier too. So once you sign up for the IPP department, then you will be receiving emails every week. Any company coming on campus, you would see every week some company or other comes on campus, and you will be on a list so that the companies will have access to you, and you will have access to the companies. So, and every semester, both in fall and in spring, we have a intern fair and a career fair. So you'll have all the opportunities to visit with the companies and talk to the companies and land up with good internships. And companies like Google, Yahoo, Microsoft, they pay $7,500 per month for those interns.
Thank you. So we have a student who's asking about international student orientation. And do they need to receive the I-20 in order to register for international student orientation? And no, as long as you are admitted to the university, you can register for international student orientation. For some students, like transfer students, you might not get your I-20 right away. And so that's okay. You do not need to have that in order to register. So we have another student who wants to know if they're eligible for in-state tuition after getting the scholarship. Will the I-20 reflect that reduced tuition?
So let me tell you how that works. Is that once, in case you are offered the $1,000 scholarship, the department will then send those names and information to the ISSO office, and the ISSO office in turn will give you a new I-20. That's how it works.
I think Jacob wants to add a little bit of information so you can clarify about the I-20.
Yes, that's correct. So if you do receive any sort of scholarship or assistantship from any department on campus, if that is not automatically submitted to us by the department, you may submit a copy of your award letter to our office, and we will use that when issuing your I-20 so that scholarship award does show up on there. If you find out later that you've been awarded the scholarship and you have already received your I-20, you may contact our office to update your I-20 if you would like a revised I-20 that does show that award amount on there.
Thank you, Jacob. All right, so someone is interested in a photography club on campus. To be honest, I don't know if there's a photography club. Have any of you heard about that? No? Okay.
Maybe you can start it.
Yes, and as I mentioned before, you can find all the clubs and student organizations on orgsync.com. I have that website posted on that slide. And so, if there isn't a photography club, you can absolutely start one, as Dr. Karas said, and you can encourage other students to join who share your interests. We have a student organization center who's in charge of all organizations here on campus. We also have a student who's wondering if CS students are eligible for a TA or RA in other departments than computer science.
So that's an interesting question. So TA, I'm not sure, but for an RA, so the TA is basically for the departments assigned for taking care of teaching in that particular department. So a computer science student, I'm not sure whether they can teach in political science. So but for an RA is something that work is for research, and the funds are basically managed by the professors themselves. And if they have any computational work, that certainly will be done by a student who has a computer science background. So RA opportunities, certainly many students get in other departments too.
Okay. So we're going to take about 2 more questions, and then we'll have time for closing. So we have a student who wants to know about prerequisites offered by the computer science department. And so they have 6 prerequisites and want to know how the university manages that.
So the prerequisites are assigned by the admissions committee when they evaluate the application, and they would look at all those deficiencies and they assign the prerequisites. However, a student is responsible for only those prerequisites for the chosen degree plan. So you can go on the website and see a degree plan which you are interested in, and the prerequisites that are basically that apply to that particular degree plan. So you're responsible only for those prerequisites which apply to the degree plan. And in case if you plan to take a course outside the degree plan, then you'll also be responsible for those prerequisites. And also, one of those prerequisites at 5,000 level can be counted towards your 33 hours of the degree plan in all degree plans in the computer science except information assurance track.
Excellent, thank you. Let's see, we have a lot of questions who've already been asked. I'm going to find a new one. Someone is asking about a cricket club at UT Dallas. So is there a cricket club?
I don't know about the cricket club, but there's Indian Student Association which has a cricket tournament every year, which is so fun that they have box cricket, they have different types of cricket, and everyone can enjoy, even the girls can enjoy. And you can always ask them to have more and more and more tournaments.
They just had Holi last weekend. So you'll enjoy Holi, you'll enjoy Diwali. So all the festivals are celebrated. So any festival, it will be a Chinese New Year festival that's celebrated. We just took some Iranian students for lunch for Nowruz. So we celebrate all cultures here on campus.
Yes, we do. If you have additional questions, or maybe your question wasn't answered, you can email our office. So if you'd like to contact the Intercultural Programs office, which will be myself and Shitaja, we can answer a lot of questions about orientation, involvement at UT Dallas. You can email ISSO-programs@utdallas.edu. If you have a question about immigration, visas, I-20s, you can email International Student Services office at ISSOprospective@utdallas.edu. So we'd like to thank you for joining us. How did you enjoy the webinar? So you can type in the comments section any feedback that you have. And be honest, because we want to know how to improve our services. As I mentioned, we're going to have upcoming webinars, so this is a great way for us to look at the feedback and improve.
And if you like it, I will do more webinars.
Yes, we'll absolutely invite Dr. Karat. As I mentioned in the beginning, this session is being recorded, and so you'll be able to view a recording of the webinar that's going to be posted on our website. So that's utdallas.edu/ICP/webinars. So once you're finished, please remember to exit the session, and this will allow you to close out the webinar. And make sure to tell your friends about the next webinar. So you can join us on April 13th at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it will teach you how to receive your Form I-20 and apply for the F1 visa. So we'll be joined by one of the international student advisors as well. And we will also be joined by a faculty member from the graduate school of JSOM. And so she will talk about how to succeed in the Jindal School of Management. So we look forward to seeing your feedback. Excellent. I'm going to close out the webinar, and we hope that we answered all of your questions well.
See you soon on campus.